Hello! Today we kick off the Gospel of Mark in our 2024 Bible reading plan. I'm really excited to be reading the Gospel of Mark. I just love it. It's the shortest, it's probably the earliest of the Gospels, but man, there is so much to it. It's so rich, and the portrait of Jesus, it's so just layered, and there's just so much to see, so much to learn. And it really is a book that invites you in, and Mark really wants to invite you into the story. I love it. There's a moment in the Gospel of Mark that is really like a super important moment. We don't get it until Mark 8. This is the scene where Jesus is asking his disciples, who do people say that I am? And they say, some say John the Baptist, and some say you're Elijah, and some, And Jesus turns to them and he says to them, but who do you say that I am? And that's the question that Mark, as he's writing his gospel, is leading us to and pressing in on us. Who do you say that I am? Not like what's the right answer to the question, but you personally, as a human being who's reading, who's hearing this gospel, what's your answer to who Jesus is? We know it's not about what's the right answer to who Jesus is, because Mark actually gives us the right answer in chapter 1, verse 1. It begins, the beginning of the good news of Jesus Christ. Christ is translated also as the anointed one or Messiah. So the answer is right at the beginning. This is the beginning of the good news of Jesus the Messiah. Jesus is the Messiah. It starts off right there. In some translations it says, Jesus the Messiah, the Son of God. Son of God is another title for Jesus, kind of a divine figure title that has a rich history throughout the Old Testament. But Mark gives us the answer right off the bat. But the real question is, but who do you personally say that he is? And that's the question that unfolds over the course of the gospel, that we're led to give our own answer to. And then a second question goes along with it, which is, will you follow him? And so as you're reading the Gospel of Mark, pay attention to the clues as to who Jesus is, to how the characters in the story who don't know who Jesus is, how they're led to see who Jesus is, and then how all of it ends up being about whether or not you actually follow him or not. We'll have more on this as time goes on. Remember to watch the Bible Project summary video to the Gospel of Mark, because like all of them, it is excellent. It's excellent help. And also make sure you check out Sean Blythe's blog on Mark that is actually being published today. And we'll have more resources like that as the Gospel of Mark goes on for the next few weeks. All right, happy reading.